Yep, you're reading the title correct. It's another RJ Barrett video. I have to do this. As a Knicks fan, it is my duty to do this because the disrespect that's being put on my man RJ Barrett's name in instances like we saw in Denver and in Phoenix, I need y'all to remember the kid that we have that's 20 years old on the New York Knicks. We have not seen growth like we've seen from RJ Barrett in year 2 of his career. You don't see that. You're not seeing that like this in one season. 17.7, 5.8 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. And did I mention that RJ Barrett is now officially shooting 40% from the three-point line? Do y'all remember the beginning of the season when he missed 21 straight threes? And if I had asked you in May what would RJ Barrett's three-point percentage be, a lot of you guys would probably be taking in the low 30s. A lot of things are happening this season that we should be proud of, and RJ Barrett, our second-year player, is one of those things. The reason why I have to make this video is because RJ Barrett is still getting a lot of criticism and a lot of pushback. And it's one thing if it's coming from outside, but it's coming from within the family. So I feel obligated to make this video to let you guys truly understand how amazing and how great of a second season that this has been for RJ Barrett. So that's right, we got another one of these videos, so buckle up and run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? Your boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. We are back on our streaming grind this week because the Knicks do not play on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which is our streaming schedule over on Twitch. So go follow your boy over on Twitch at IMCK. The little thing should come up, and the links are in the description for everything. Join the Discord. You know the deals. But we're talking about RJ Barrett today. And like I said in the intro, RJ Barrett to me is a guy that I feel like when he wins, it's like he appeases the fans. So it's like, all right, we won. RJ Barrett played all right. We'll leave him alone. But the minute that RJ Barrett, a 20-year-old kid, has the slightest chance of a bad game, that's when everybody comes down. And it's only this fan base. So I feel like it is my duty to come in here and let y'all understand the growth of a second-year player, 20 years old, that's already being pushed into the number 2 player on the New York Knicks, on this rebuild New York Knicks that is already making the push for their first playoff berth since 2013. This is huge, man. This is huge. So for my people who are just refusing to see what's going on by just strictly the eye test and seeing how well this dude is playing on the basketball court, then I guess I have to bring out stats. RJ Barrett can go out there and play a tremendous game, D up, block one of the best players, one of the best offensive players in the game right now, and people still don't see enough. So they need the stats. So that's why I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna bring you guys the stats to understand the magnitude of how great RJ Barrett has been this season. RJ Barrett's game literally has evolved from one level to the next in 1 year at 20 years old. If he is doing that in one season, putting all that work in one season, what is that telling you for how it's going to be when he's 24 years old, when he's 26 years old? What is that telling you? Do you think that he's just magically going to just get stagnant and never grow? I just don't understand. I don't understand how a lot of people have such a hard time seeing that, and anytime he has any kind of bad game. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that a player doesn't deserve to be criticized. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not here to tell you guys I don't think a player should not be criticized. No, RJ Barrett definitely has things to be criticized about. But when I'm seeing comments talking about RJ Barrett needs to be traded, this is why RJ is forever going to be trash, that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off. It's one thing to hear from outside, like Laker fans and other fans that want to say what they want to say. That's fine. Let them talk. That's nothing. But it's coming from our own backyard, and I don't like that. As I mentioned at the top, RJ Barrett is averaging 17.7 points per game, 5.8 rebounds a game, and 3 assists per game. To go even further than that, RJ Barrett is shooting 44% from the field, 40% from the 3, and get this, for all my people who said that he ain't never gonna make no free throws, he's shooting 75% from the free throw line. Year 2, ladies and gentlemen, year 2. So the 44%, I'm sure a lot of you guys will understand, it's just RJ Barrett's bread and butter. He's really good at finding his shots around the rim. now adding this mid-range jumper to his game, it is something that RJ Barrett is doing a lot more frequently. So the 44%, I think that's about normal when it comes to RJ Barrett. But seeing the 75% from the free throw line after shooting, what, 62 last year? Maybe not even that. I think it was 61% from the free throw line last year. Now jumping up to 75% in year 2, that means it's only going to continue to have more room for improvement. As I talk to you guys about month to month how his game has continued to grow, you're going to understand why. But the biggest number to me that I'm looking at is that 40% from the three-point line. I have watched RJ Barrett for a long time. This isn't just me becoming an RJ Barrett fan because he's a Knick now. For the real ones that have been on this channel, you guys know that my love for RJ Barrett has come before he was a New York Knick. And RJ Barrett, throughout his entire career playing basketball, has been known to not be a consistent shooter in general. Not just a three-point shooter, but a shooter in general. That's just how he was. You can talk about him in Mount Verde, you can talk about him in Canada, you can talk about him in Duke. He just was never known to be that consistent shooter. He was known to be the bully and known to be really smooth around the rim. He knew how to get his bucket around the rim. RJ Barrett had some of the best layup packages coming into his pro career. That's just how RJ Barrett was. He was really strong at getting to the rim and getting whatever he wanted around the basket. That's just what his game was. And from time to time, yes, he would rely on the three-point jumper if he was left open. Never really seeing too much of the mid-range shot. That just was not a part of his game. And it seems like this year, all that has come together and has been put into his game this season. In 1 year. In 1 season. There was no OTAs this year. Yeah, we did have a preseason, but that was about it. There wasn't no formal training camp this year. Obviously, RJ Barrett was doing his work in the offseason. Shout out to Drew Hanlon, changing the jump shot and stuff like that. And that was the other thing too. I was telling you guys, like, the numbers we should have been okay if his numbers were something around 42% from the field and 37 from 3 and maybe even 70% from the free throw line, because he's working a new jump shot this year. This happens so often when players have a jump shot 1 year and they change up the jump shot the next year. The numbers do go up, but you can see that they're still working on that new shot. Now that's why RJ Barrett, sometimes you're going to see the shot either go really short or you're going to see the shot go a little too long, because you're still getting used to your new shot in different situations compared to the old shot you had. Now December and January are the big months that we need to talk about. In December, we know we only have the 5 games that we played, and that is where RJ Barrett had that tremendous first game of the season, but then fell off. RJ Barrett shot 35% from the field, 13% from the three-point line, and a strong 78% from the free throw. He was averaging 15.4 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 3.6 assists in the month of December. And this was the time that we were hearing the G League conversation. People were talking about he's just not it. He's not going to be our guy. We need to move on. Blah, 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 blah. Like I mentioned, this was December after 5 games. People were going in on RJ Barrett for not starting off the season a lot faster than he should be. Everybody expecting RJ Barrett to start the season faster than he should have been. 5 games, people were going in on him. Now he jumped to January, where he took a nice step up in his game, where he shot 46% from the field, 35% from 3, and 75 from the free throw line. His second highest points per game in January, with 18.8 points, 6.2 rebounds per game, and 3.2 assists. The scoring went up in January. That's where we were showing that we were not the same New York Knicks team that you were used to in the past, and him and Julius Randle were having some nice nights, and he did a good job with that kind of stat line. But we move over to February, where he played 14 games, and he shot 44% from the field, 47% from the three-point line, and dropped down to 65% from the free throw, averaging only 14 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 2.4 assists. So yeah, the points went down, but you can see the percentages went up at only having 2 less games in the month of February. This is what I'm talking about. It's the steady growth as the season goes on. We're talking about shooting 13% at the three-point line in the month of December, only in 5 games. We probably would have been higher if he played around 10, 11 games, but only in 5 games, shooting that much. Then the next month, jumps it up to 35% for that month, and then the next month 47% for the month. So if you guys want to do that math, that comes back to me around, I don't know, like the early 30s for his percentage for up to that point. Now what's important about these next 2 months, as I mentioned, he's only averaged 14 points per game in what month is that, February, and then blah blah blah. Now March and April were huge months, because that was when the Knicks made their strides. That's when we had our 9-game winning streak. Hell, that's where we won 11 of 12 games in that month. And then April it carried on. That's March and April, excuse me, where we carried on having some of our best basketball, and you're gonna see RJ Barrett's stats completely show it as we talk about the next few months. So in the month of March, he shot 47% from the field, 34% from the three-point line, and a strong 73% from the field, averaging 20 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. The three-pointer went down a little bit in that month. He did have that little bit of a slide, but that would be the last time RJ Barrett for this season would shoot under 30 anything percent in the season, because we jumped to April where he played 15 games, and this was his stat line: 47% from the field, 48% from the three-point line, 80% from the free throw. In 36 minutes, averaged 18 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. Did you hear me? 47% from the field, 48 from the three-point line, and a monster 80% from the free throw. This is April. This is a more important month. You see that he is growing as the season goes on. He had some moments, but what's important, and the sample size is a lot bigger. He only played 13 games in March where he had the little dip in the three-point percentage, but he played 15 games in April. That's the second most games in a month that he played for the season. And these are all with a lot of minutes per game, because he was I think he is the only player on this Knicks team that did not miss any games due to injury. He played every single game this season so far. He is growing every single month. And now here we are in the month of May, and we're about to wrap up the season going into the playoffs, and we've only played 5 games so far, and this is what his stat line looks like right now. The field goal percentage dropped down a little bit at 39%, but the three-point percentage is at 50%, and the free throw stayed steady at 80%. And for the month of May so far, he's averaging 18.2 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, and 3.2 assists. Arguably, outside the field goal percentage, I think April was probably his best month of basketball that he's ever played in his career. The proof is in the pudding. I shouldn't even have to be going through these stats for you guys, because it's all in the eye test. Yes, there are definitely things that he needs to improve, but he has to improve a lot of stuff because he's 20 years old. But for the conversations that I'm hearing from you guys talking about that he is not really a 3rd overall pick, you know, he got picked too high, he's not this, he's not that, is absolutely insane to me. He has a guy like Julius Randle that's ahead of him taking more shots. He has a guy coming off the bench that's taking a few more shots than him in Derrick Rose, and I'm not complaining about that. But when you have those kind of players around you and you have those veterans that are doing what they got to do, and you're still able to go in there and fit in what you can fit in, and then be considered the 2nd best player on this team, miss me with all of the unnecessary criticism. It makes no sense. Let the kid grow and let the kid progress. I could give a damn less about the stats. So the stats only validate what we already should be seeing on the court. For you that are missing what you're seeing on the court, RJ Barrett is going to be just fine. I'm excited for what RJ Barrett is going to be long term. This dude loves the city. This dude loves winning, and this dude loves his team. He is the guy that we want to have be the front runner of this team at some point in the long run. Right now, at 20 years old, he is lucky to have a all-star on his team, to be right there in his ear, to teach him the ways of leadership all the way up until RJ Barrett is ready to ultimately take the reins for himself. To have a previous MVP on the roster in Derrick Rose right there in your ear, able to talk to you night in and night out. RJ Barrett has a lot of tools to help him become the player that some of us, most of us, know and see that he will be at some point. RJ Barrett's going to be fine. I can't believe I had to make a second one of these videos in less than 3 weeks. But RJ Barrett's going to be fine. And this is for all those people that refuse to see the truth and see who RJ Barrett really is. If you guys want to know my opinions about the past games, the games that happened the night before, you got to go see me over in post-game over on Knicks Fan TV. You guys know the deal over with CP, Ashley Moss. We got a whole vibe over there. But like I said, I was expecting us to take one of these games. I was expecting us to go 4-2, if not 3-3 on this road trip. I still believe we can take that 4-2. I think that we can take advantage of this wobbling Lakers team right now on Tuesday. I think we have that opportunity. I think Julius Randle's going to have another revenge game. I also thought Denver Nuggets was going to be the game we were going to steal, but that didn't happen the way it is. But I knew this Clipper game we were going to show out, whether it wasn't a win or a loss, because there's no way the Knicks were going to play 3 bad games in a row against top talent, because that's just not who we are anymore. So shout out to the Knicks winning that game against the Clippers. I love my team. But you know what it is. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and do not forget to like this video. Guys, we are live over on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, except if the Knicks play. If the Knicks play on any of those days, don't expect to live stream over on Twitch, but the Knicks don't play at all on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday this week, so I'll see you guys there tonight. Don't forget to join the Discord. It's been your boy CK. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Let's get it. I'm out of here. All love, RJ Barrett. You know what it is. It's your boy CK. I always got your back because I'm super excited that you are a New York Knick, and I know you're gonna be the Knick of the future. All right, I'm out of here. See you guys in the next one, and peace.
Feeling like I won the lotto. Always taking trips with a new chick, asking where the time goes. And I wonder if this is all I'll know.